Interview with teachers.
How important is communication between teachers and students?
So communication is very important between teacher and students because it could be the key to learning. Without proper communication, learning could somewhat be impossible. So the teacher and the pupils or the learners should have a proper communication between them.
Communication between teachers and students starts with having a good relationship.
Of course, teachers and students should have a good relationship with one another. If the relationship between the two is good and better, so the communication is also better.
What strategies are most vital in getting students' trust to build an effective relationship in the classroom?
One of the strategies that a teacher can do in order to build the trust of the students is to know the pupils well. Talk to them during break time, play with them. In that case, we will gain the trust of the pupils or the students, and by gaining the trust, we also gain relationship toward, and it will lead towards better communication.
What are the communication skills that teachers should possess to influence student success?
Communication skills that a teacher should possess
To influence students.
to influence student success is to express your ideas clearly. You should have to communicate with your students the proper questions, the proper lessons, and if you are gonna give them improper knowledge or improper instruction, they are also being affected with how you communicate with them.
In your perception as a teacher, how will you say if the communication between you and students are going to be failed or will be successful? Can you give some examples?
Okay. Your communication between you and your students are going to be successful if they react to your question well. Of course, you have to let them understand your question or your topic. If they react well and they learn something from what you said to them, then it is a sign that there is a good communication between the two.
In your opinion, what are the common causes of miscommunication between teachers and students, and how does this situation affect student success?
Some of the common cause of miscommunication between teacher and student is the language barrier. Some pupils are not native of this particular place. For example, we are living here in Laguna and our pupil or our student is from Mindanao. So the language barrier that they are speaking from his native place is one cause of miscommunication. Another one is your personal feeling about a particular situation. Your personal view of a particular matter. If you have a different view or a different perception for a particular topic, then your pupil is also somewhat having a different view for his answer or reaction to your topic.
So, last question po. How can a teacher's communication skills influence a student's success or failure?
teacher can influence big in the success of his students because if a teacher cannot communicate well with his students, the pupils will not have a proper learning that he needs to acquire from that particular teacher. So therefore, it is the role of the teacher to communicate well, to remove all the barriers of miscommunication, and to give the students a better relationship, so that at the end of the day, at the end of the teaching and learning process, they will both be successful. The teacher being the teacher and the pupil being the learner. That's all.
How important is communication between teachers and students?
Communication is the most important of the most important aspect of teaching. Kasi communication is two-way, di ba, no? Hindi naman pwedeng salita ka lang salita. Tapos yung estudyante mo ay walang communication pagka ganun, di ba? So, it is important for the teacher, of course, to be able to express his ideas clearly para maunawaan ng bata, at yung bata naman ay nakaka-express rin kung ano yung natutunan niya para alam rin ng teacher kung ano yung na-absorb ng bata.
Next question po. Do you believe that good communication between teachers po and students starts with having a good relationship?
Oo naman siya.
Next po, what strategies are most vital in getting students' trust to build an effective relationship in the classroom?
Students. So to get the students' trust, syempre, credibility. Sometimes, yung practice to get attention, to get the students' attention. Pero syempre, when delivering your lesson, you should be credible. Hindi yung fake news na rin, hindi yung TikTok ang pagtutulog rin.
Next po, what are the communication skills that teachers should possess to influence students' success?
Confidence, so the teacher should be a good communicator, alam mo yan, yung grammar-wise siguro, vocabulary, he should have good mastery of his topic. Siyempre dahil para yung mga students, siyempre alam nila na kung ano yung sinasabi ng teacher is of course true.
Next po, in your perception po, sir, as a teacher, how will you say if the communication between you and the students are going to be failed or will be successful?
Assessment, actually, pagka you know that your students are learning through assessment, kung mataas sa mga quizzes nila, if they understood the topic, when you give an activity, tas alam nila kung anong gagawin based on the lesson that you delivered, then you can say na your lessons are getting through to the students. Na na-absorb nila kung ano yung learning na pinakailangan nila para isagawa yun. Siyempre, sa in real life friends, kung na-apply nila yung knowledge na kung ano sa school, then that is a clear indicator that the skills are learning.
Next po, in your opinion po, sir, what are the common causes of miscommunication between teachers and students, and how does this situation affect students' success?
Miscommunication happens when a teacher fails to deliver yung lesson in such a way na maunawaan ng mga bata. There are different levels of there are different learners na, di ba? There are slow learners, fast learners, no? If you fail to yung siguro kung hindi mo na ayon doon sa kakayahan ng mga bata yung pagtuturo mo, then nahirapan sila at hindi nila nakuha yung lesson mo, there is a failure of communication. Okay, so you must make your lesson yung understandable by the student, relatable, mas no.
Last una question. How can a teacher's communication skills influence a student's success?
Diba yung mga estudyante ko na minsan nag-message ako sa text lang sila. Hindi lang naman yan doon sa inside the classroom, pero outside the classroom. Yung knowledge that you impart is not just about your subject, but also about life. Lessons about life. No? So, yung success of the student, when it comes to academics na the subject that you teach, kung maganda mo rin nagbibigay ng lesson, kung nag-relate mo yun dun sa buhay, kung ano yung importance nito dun sa kanyang learning, continued learning, at saka dun sa outside of the school, sa real life environment, kung may apply nyo yun doon, then there is successful yung ginawa ng teacher.
That's all. Here are our questions. First, how important is communication between teachers and students?
Communication can build dialogue between teachers and students. It can also open different opportunities to assess what help can we give. What help can we give to our students? So communication is very important and very vital.
Next po, sir. Do you believe po that good communication between teachers and students po starts with having good relationship?
Yeah, I believe we have to establish first a good relationship, and that is through communication. So constant, even small talks, so this can open a relationship, and with that you can share whatever you want, and with this can really build strong foundation for students to really open up for a good community.
Next po, what strategies are most vital in getting students trust to build an effective relationship in the classroom?
I guess when it comes to building relationship, we as teachers, for me as a teacher, I always see to it that I always call the attention of my students, and I always check if they're okay, and I always offer myself for whatever needs they need. We are open. We have open arms to really share what we have for our students.
Next po, what are the communication skills that teachers should possess to influence students' success?
Be a good role model, not just a role model, but a good role model. It's really hard for us, but through constant, small act of kindness and showing good deeds, this can end and be a good values, transform into values that our students can also acquire, and then for them to live the same values that they get from us.
In your perception too, sir, as a teacher, how will you say if the communication between you and the students are going to be fail or will be successful?
It will fail once there's no constant communication. The success of communication, the other way around, kumbaga constant communication, small talks, kamustahan, so yun.
In your opinion naman po, what are the common causes of miscommunication between teachers and students, and how does this situation affect student success?
miscommunication, maybe misspelled words or misunderstanding the way the delivery of the message, that can be result into miscommunication. So the right way, I guess, to handle this is to talk and discuss, and open what are the things that they didn't understand, for some clarifications.
Last question. How can a teacher's communication skills influence a student's success?
So communication can be a stepping stone of our students. So we have to teach them to enter into the dialogue, and of course, to teach them to be a good communicator. So with this, they can understand, they can read other people, and they can be a good leader, when they know how to communicate. Yeah.
That's all for today.
Interview with students.
How important is communication between teachers and students?
Importante ang komunikasyon ng teacher at estudyante para magkaintindihan sila ng maayos. Para sila nagkakaintindihan.
Do you believe that the good communication between teacher and students starts having a good relationship?
Oo, para ang estudyante ay hindi nahihiyang magsabi sa teacher.
Strategies are most vital in getting student trust to build an effective relationship in the classroom.
Dapat kay ang teacher ay marunong din makinig sa guro sa estudyante para lumapit lalo ang loob ng estudyante sa guro.
What are the communication skills that teachers should possess to influence student success?
Communication skills na kailangan ng taglayin ng isang guro upang ma-influensyahan niya ng estudyante ay kailangan marunong siya makinig at kaya niyang ilagay ang sarili niya sa sitwasyon ng estudyante.
In your perception as a student or teacher, how will you say if the communication between you and students are going to be fail or will be successful? Give us some example.
Kapag nagkakaunawan sila ang guro at estudyante, nagiging success ang komunikasyon sa pagitan. Pag halimbawa natututo ang estudyante ng maayos sa guro, nagiging success ang kanilang communication.
In your opinion, what are the common causes of miscommunication between teachers and students, and how does this situation affect students' success?
May kanya-kanyang perception ang bawat isa, kaya hindi siguro nagkakaunawaan.
How can a teacher's communication skills influence a student's success or failure?
Kapag magaling teacher makipag-communicate sa estudyante at natuto ang estudyante, pag maraming natututunan ng estudyante, madadala nila hanggang pagtanda yun at yun ang kanilang magiging success.
How important is communication between teachers and students?
Mahalaga yung communication sa pagitan ng teacher-student dahil mas may tuturo ng maayos ng teacher yung kanyang ituturo sa estudyante kung may communication sa pagitan nilang dalawa.
Do you believe that good communication between teachers and students starts with having a good relationship?
Oo, dahil kung walang good relationship, hindi mag-work yung communication between sa teachers at student. Dahil halimbawa na lang, kung yung student ay takot sa teacher, hindi makakapag-communicate sila ng maayos.
What strategies are most vital in getting students' trust to build an effective relationship in the classroom?
Sa tingin ko, ang pinaka-epektibong paraan upang makuha ng guro ang tiwala ng kanyang estudyante ay sa pamamagitan ng having a good communication. Dahil kung meron silang good communication sa lahat ng kanyang estudyante, makukuha agad niya yung tiwala. Yung walang favoritism, lahat pantay-pantay pagdating sa kanyang mga estudyante.
What are the communication skills that teachers should possess to influence students' success?
Para sa akin, lahat ng communication skills kailangan dapat alam ng teacher para mas maganda yung maipapahayag niyang communication sa kanyang mga estudyante. Mas makakapagturo siya ng maayos kung alam niya lahat yung communication skills.
In your perception as a student or teacher, how will you say that communication between you and students are going to be fail or will be successful? Can you give some examples?
Magiging fail yung isang communication kung yung teacher at student ay walang good relationship. Halimbawa na lang, yung teacher ay yung student ay galit, takot sa kanyang teacher dahil masyado itong stricto at konting mali lang na kanyang sagot ay nagagalit agad. Doon nag-fail yung isang communication between teacher and student.
In your opinion, what are the common causes of miscommunication between teachers and students, and how does this situation affect students' success?
Tingin ko nagkakaroon ng hindi pagkakaunawaan sa pagitan ng teacher at student kapag yung teacher ay may favoritism na ginagawa sa kanyang mga estudyante. Pag meron siyang isang estudyante pinagpabukusan at yung ibang estudyante binabaliwala niya na lang, sa tingin ko doon nagkakaroon ng hindi pagkakaunawaan between student and teachers.
How can a teacher's communication skills influence a student's success or failure?
Nakaka-apekto yung communication skills ng teacher sa estudyante pag ito'y hindi kompleto, yung 10 communication skills ay hindi kompleto. Halimbawa na lang, hindi may papabatid ng teacher yung mga nais niyang ituro kung may kakulangan siya sa communication skills. Magkukulang ng kaalaman ng mga estudyante at ito yung magiging dahilan ng kanilang failure. Pero kung kompleto naman, kung may hatid naman ng teacher yung kanyang gustong ituro sa estudyante, kung sa pamamagitan ng kanyang kompletong skills sa communication, mas magiging malawak yung kaalaman ng estudyante at magdudulot ito ng success sa kanya.
Good afternoon. I'm Maricar Kapitan and I am a secondary education student.
Okay. First question. How important is communication between teachers and students?
Okay, this is just based on my opinion, ha. Communication, it's significant, okay? It's essential. It is vital when it comes to the teaching and learning process and when it comes to building good relationship with the students. So why exactly is it important? For example, ako naman yung mag-interview ngayon. For example, I want you, Mark Anthony, at saka ERIKA. Tama ba? Pagkaka-pronounce ko ng name mo, Miss ERIKA. I want you to think about your favorite teacher when you were elementary. O yan, no, junior high school or senior high school. Just think about it. Okay lang, isipin nyo lang. What made him or her special? Diba? What sets him or her apart from your other teachers? Ako, I remember my two favorite teachers when I was still in junior high school or high school. My English teacher and my math teacher. Okay, so they were the ones who are my favorite teacher. They are my favorite teacher. They became my favorite teacher because they were the ones who motivated me and who helped me make English and math topics make sense to me. Okay, especially yung math. Kasi I'm not really that good in math. Kaya nga nag-major in English ako. Okay, I also like my advisor back then because she made me feel that I could trust her and that she cares for us, her students. So here, you can see how truly important communication is, diba, between teacher and students. It is vital for interactions with students. The act of teaching itself requires communication. As a teacher, you are responsible for comprehending and breaking down complex information, diba? Conveying the information clearly to your students. Even when you are presenting your visual aids, your materials that you made, you are already communicating with your students. So that is already an act of communicating. So again, therefore, communication is important. It's significant.
Okay. Second question. Do you believe that good communication between teachers and students start with having good relationship?
Yes, it does start with having a good relationship. Let me start with the word relationship. Sige nga, para sa inyo, ano ang relationship? Ano yun? Bigang baliktad eh. Ako na ulit ang nag-interview. Sige nga to what is relationship para sa'yo?
Relationship. Kumbaga, masaya, ganun.
Parang lovers, gano'n, no? Ganun yung naisip natin. Sige. May point ka rin naman. But for me, relationship, it's all about building human connection. Okay? How do you build connection? By communicating. So communication, it's the bridge that links us, that connects us, that allows people to exchange what they think and what they feel. So in my opinion, not having a good relationship with your student is a communication barrier. The teacher-student relationship is at the heart of teaching. So after all, students are not going to learn from someone they don't like, right? Ikaw nga, pag di mo gusto yung teacher, hindi ka nakikinig, di ba? So negative teacher-student relationship evokes emotions like fear and or mistrust that prevent effective interaction or communication. That's why having a good relationship, that's really the start of having a good communication.
Third question. What strategies are most vital in getting students' trust to build an effective relationship in the classroom?
Okay, this is based on my own experience naman when I was practice teaching. Okay, nung student teacher pa ako. Ganon. I can share 3 strategies that I've tried and tested na. 1, listening to the students. Actively listening to your students is a way to learn about their motivation, what else, their goals, their learning styles. Listening is the key to understanding your students' behavior, needs, abilities, etc. Second strategy that I can think of that I can still remember is asking questions. Of course, you should not only listen, but you should also ask questions to deepen your understanding of your students, diba? Ask questions about your students themselves. This will help students feel that you are really concerned about them, that you're interested about them, that you care for them. Third strategy is acknowledging your students' feelings or emotions and thoughts. Okay, make them feel na you understand them and that they are not alone. Knowing their emotions and thoughts are valid gives students the release that they need kasi. Next, may question pa?
Third question, yeah. What are the communication skills that teachers should possess to influence student success?
I think teachers should possess and hone the 4 basic language skills. Okay? And ano yung mga yon? Reading, listening, writing, and speaking. Or the 5 macro skills, which are, again, listening, speaking, reading, writing, and ano yung pang-5? Viewing. Okay, so it is important to master these skills in order for you, the teacher, to communicate effectively. When you communicate effectively, you help students reach their full potential.
5 questions. In your perception as a student teachers, how will you say if the communication between you and students are going to be fail or will be successful? Can you give some example?
Okay, based on my own perception or my own point of view, I think you'll know if communication between you and the student is not effective when the students are not motivated in class. Okay, when they fail the assessments that you've prepared for them. What else? When they are not enjoying the class discussion, when they become passive learners. On the other hand, you'll know that communication is successful when it's the opposite of the things that I've just said earlier. It is effective, it is successful when your students understand the lesson, when they were able to achieve the class objectives that you set, when they actively participate in class discussion. What else? When they are motivated, okay? When they are motivated to learn and become a better version of themselves, when they share their ideas enthusiastically, and when they trust and respect their teacher.
Okay, next question. In your opinion, what are the common causes of miscommunication between teachers and students How does this situation affect student success?
I think the common causes of miscommunication between teacher and students are: one, when you use highfalutin words, okay? When the words that you use inside the classroom are words that are difficult and words that your students cannot understand. Yung masyadong matalinghaga yung salita, talaga di kayo magkakaintindihan, di ba? Second is when your objectives are not aligned with your students' level. Okay, for example, you are teaching grade 3 students, but yung level ng objectives mo pang grade 6, di ba? What else? Third, when your lessons are uninteresting, boring. Students will not learn if they are bored or enthusiastic about the lesson. So we really need to make sure that we provide fun and thought-provoking activities. What else? It can also be because of language barrier. When I was practice teaching at a private school, I had a Korean student. Of course, Korean siya, so she doesn't understand Tagalog. So what I did was I needed to use English para magkaintindihan kami. So there. What else? Lastly, I think if the teacher has negative attitude towards teaching, if you do not like what you're doing, if you do not like teaching, it would really affect your teaching and your relationship with your students. In the eyes of the students, they would see you as someone who is unapproachable, who doesn't care about them. Okay, so I think that is also a cause of miscommunication.
Okay, for the last question. How can a teacher's communication skills influence a student's success or failure?
I think there are a lot of factors that influence a student's success or failure. One of them is the teacher's communication skills. Diba? If the teacher has good communication skills, then he or she can easily convey his or her message or deliver the lesson in an understandable manner. So that's influencing student success. Good communication skills raise the self-esteem of a student and his or her academic achievement. Yeah.
So good morning, introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Ayla Mariti Sabiduria.
So okay, let's start the interview. How important is communication between teachers and students?
For me, it is very important, the communication between students and teachers. We have to build trust and ask questions to our teachers so that they will give answers to us.
Okay. Next question. Do you believe that good communication between teachers and students starts with having good relationships?
Yes, as I have said, we need to build trust with our teachers as students so that the information that they will give us is the knowledge that can retain to us.
Okay. Third question. What strategies are most vital in getting students' trust to build an effective relationship in the classroom?
The strategy I would like to recommend is that you have to build trust. That trust is important in a relationship. It is the foundation. That is all.
Okay. Fourth question. What are the communication skills that teachers should possess to influence student success?
Communication skills. Every one of us can communicate to others. Then that means that we all have communication skills. We need to develop it so that the teachers could maintain good communication to their students.
Okay. In your perception as a student or teachers, how will you say if the communication between you and students are going to be fail or will be successful? Can you give some example?
Our relationship between my teacher and me as a student is successful because when I message them, they message me back or they reply to the question that I asked. it may fail if they did not reply to the question that I asked from them.
Okay, sixth question. In your opinion, what are the common causes of miscommunication between teachers and students, and how does this situation affect student success?
The miscommunication is that if you said something inappropriate or the teacher would not understand, then the relationship between teachers and student may fail.
Last question. How can a teacher's communication skill influence a student's success or failure?
If a teacher has a good communication skills, then the student may learn a lot from them. The teachers would give them good information in the students. That is all.
Okay, thank you.